Good morning to one and all present here. Now let us see a case study of supply chain management in food processing industries. This case study mainly concentrates on agricultural products and fruit sectors. The supply chain redesign. What is meant by supply chain redesign? New technologies are creating disruptive innovation. That means with the updation of the various technologies, innovations are daily updating, and the globalization in supply chain management has created a fragile and monitoring required environment. So, the governance, which involves partner selection, coordination, and execution, takes the center stage in the supply chain redesign, which we concentrate on the food industry sectors. This is different from the manufacturing sectors, product manufacturing sectors. Next comes the elements of a global supply chain management. As we know, these are the basic elements of a supply chain management. That is, global supply chain management is the heart of the hour. So it concentrates on the following aspects. That is, starting from performance goals, outsourcing, third-party logistics, inventory, customer relationships, customer retention, then the information systems which are followed by the industry, then the plant and distribution center network. Here the dealers comes into picture, then the business process environments, then the organizational design and the training requirements which are very needy for the employers of any food industry. Then the performance metrics and the customer service requirements. So in food sectors, in the customer satisfaction, apart from the customer satisfaction, the customer service requirements should also be satisfied. It also plays a major role. So this is the basic ecosystem. That is it. This is the ecosystem, supply chain ecosystem. That is, it is broadly classified, or broadly it covers the following four things. One is the supply chain network. The other one is the institutions, in the sense industries or the sectors or the organizations which manufactures the product. It may be either a mission or food or health sectors or anything. Then the next one is the resources available. There is the resources available or the resources to be made for the particular product or the particular component to be manufactured. Then the delivery service infrastructure. Here the logistics plays a major role. This is a framework which will help to study about the supply chain redesign, that is governance, risk, innovation and performance. The next, the food supply chains are complex systems. So why we are saying the food supply chains are a complex system means we should recognize many things, or the food sector needs recognition for many aspects when compared with a mission or a product recognition. So the food supply chains are very complex interacting networks linking millions of small players. So who are the small players? They are farmers, kirana shops, hawkers, industries, government and other organizations affecting the political and economic climate. So here how the industries and government plays a role in food supply chains means the industries are the food sectors need an industry for its final completion of the work. A food, when it is when it is manufactured or when it is ready from the market, it can't be taken directly to the customer. So now the customer needs a presentation or an attractive packaging and other things. So as we saw the market supply chain driven concept, so marketing and customer satisfaction, attracting the customers are very important. So an industry is needed. And how government comes into picture is we can get funding from government. The food sectors can get funding from government, and also the health sectors they can get funding from the government. Then how the economic climate, political and economic climate, that is the economic capability of the customer should be considered before fixing a price value for the product, food product. So we should recognize the complexity of social, political and operational issues, the domain knowledge to be acquired, to whether in this season what is the demand, which food crop will be sold, or which food will be sold, what is the need of the customer, and so on. Then the analytics needed to build excellence in strategy and execution and mitigate the risks, the appropriate governance structure needed to fulfill the promised deliveries. This is a supply chain, food supply chain ecosystem. So as I said in the previous slide, resources, then the organizations, service chain, then the service delivery, transportation, maintenance. So first we can start with the resources. The resources means all the things, that is canals, water, power, road, research and development laboratory, to testing, to give some certain trademark to the food that is being sold to the customer, then sourcing and everything. Then the service chain, supplier, farmer and the food processing unit, packaging and distribution industries, retailers, all of the things. Then the service delivery and transportation maintenance, here the logistics, transportation, cold chains, warehousing, packaging, all will come into role. Next, money, that is the farmer's market. So the companies still cannot buy, but only can lease fertile land from the farmer. Then the retailers find it difficult to work directly with the farmers, and they change the mandi mechanism. So nowadays this mandi mode of marketing is getting reduced. Supply chain is as efficient as that of a mandi. Supply and demand in retail supply chain. So it acts as a bridge between the demand side and the supply side. So bridge inefficient, that is when the demand and supply are not matched, the bridge is not satisfied. So inconsistent policies, poor governance, improper transport facilities and too many intermediaries between the supplier and the customer will result in improper bridge between the supply and demand side. Next is distribution logistics in India. So fragmented individual company based technology sophistication, minimal and non-integrated into the supply chain. So at present the main focus for all the industries are to build hard infrastructure and no attention to soft infrastructure such as trade facilitation, ERP, sensor networks, losses due to theft, spoilage and so on. So the companies are very well known how to satisfy the customer through a distribution logistics approach. So India ranks 35 on the 2016 Logistics Performance Index. So challenges facing the retail sector, faced by the retail sector. So unavailability of logistics companies offering back-end support for retailers. So refrigerated transport and warehouse facilities, that means it will be a standstill, so and it is not flexible. So the unavailability of sufficiently skilled and trained manpower leads to trial and error management in the retail operations. So these are all the challenges which are faced by the retail sectors in any kind of industry. It may be food industry or healthcare industry or machine manufacturing industry. Higher costs and complexity of sourcing and planning for retailers, and hence the unavailability of sufficiently skilled and trained manpower. Use existing facilities more fruitfully. So the industry should learn how to use the existing facilities more fruitfully without depending upon the technological updations alone. So take advantage of the vast network and logistics capabilities of the existing institutions or the sectors such as post office, road transport, corporations, bank and so on. So do not wait for the infrastructure to be available. Without that, we can start using the existing facilities more fruitfully. So this is a cold chain. What is meant by cold chain? It is a logistic part which is used for agricultural products, seafoods, frozen foods, photographic film and chemical and pharmaceutical drugs. So cold chains means the products, the food products or the products which are involved, which are included in the cold chains are maintained at a certain temperature, standard temperature by the industries. So cold chain in food sector. So industries temperature standards are for banana 13 degrees chill and 2 degrees, frozen is minus 18 degrees and deep frozen is minus 29 degrees. These are some standard temperatures followed by a particular food sector or food product industry. So there is a big gap in food supply chain. So India has run the world's largest public food distribution system for the poor since 1965. The failure of two successive monsoons leads to the creation of Food Corporation of India under rationing. So the government last year spent a record of $13 billion buying and storing wheat and rice for the poor. So all these are a gap in the food supply, but the government, to the extent possible, they are satisfying the customers by balancing through some export methodologies. So standardization is a powerful tool improving the supply chain efficiency, and the standards enables partners and enables better compatibility and interoperability of their systems and processes. So standardization is a major role in food supply chain management. Food safety in India, FSSAI is an autonomous body. There is a Food Safety and Standards Authority of India is an autonomous body which is under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare Government of India, 2006. So the Food Safety FSSAI is the primary law for regulation of food products, so it should get the approval from that act. So it appoints food safety authorities on the state level. So the main aim of this act is to lay down science-based standards for articles of food to regulate manufacture, storage, distribution, sale and import of food to facilitate food safety. So these are the food security methodologies or the food security modules. There is availability, access and utilization. So availability means production, processing, soil, water management and trade and stockpiling. Access, logistics and other things. Utilization, using the product being used by the customers. So, state of food supply chain in India, it is very inefficient at present. It needs a good governance, needs a good food processing industry, needs and the cold chain logistics should be followed by all the food sector industries. Now, only minimum number of industries are following that. Then it needs immediate attention. So, these are all the status of the food supply chain management or the food supply chain network at present in our country. Thank you.